Hello students, welcome to my fourth video tutorial. So this is a continuation video of the previous chapter, that is current electricity, and today's topic is very important as well as very interesting, right? So you need to concentrate very nicely and understand the two rules of Kirchhoff's law. Okay, so you see, by using the rules of series and parallel combination, we can just solve the problems of simple circuits. But in order to solve the problems of complex circuits, like there are more branches or loops, so this can't be solved by using Ohm's law, right? So these problems or these complex circuits can be analyzed by using Kirchhoff's law. So this Kirchhoff's law, the word Kirchhoff is based upon the name of a scientist who has formulated these two laws, whose full name is Gustav Robert Kirchhoff, right? So let's see what does this law says. So generally, why we use Kirchhoff's law? For analyzing more complex circuit, Kirchhoff's laws are used. As I've already told you, few circuits like Ohm's law can only be solved that problems, right? So for the simple circuits only Ohm's law is valid. But if the number of branches or the loops is increased, so these loops cannot be converted into a single loop. So for those complex circuits we use Kirchhoff's law. So it has two laws. So first law is also called as junction law or the current rule. So what does this law says? You see, let's see this diagram first. You see four resistors are connected and they are meeting at a fixed point, that is O. Now you see current is coming towards the junction. Current I2 is also coming towards the junction. I3 and I4, they are moving away from the junction. That means according to this law, the current meeting at a junction should be 0. That means when current is coming toward, that means I1 plus I1. When I2 is coming towards the junction, that is plus I2. I3 and I4, they are departing from the junction, therefore minus I3 minus I4. That means total current coming towards the junction must be equals to total current going away from the junction, right? So this is the first law, that is called current rule or the junction rule. So what does this say? The algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction in a circuit is 0. That means the total current meeting at a junction must be 0. That means total current coming towards the junction or total is equals to total current going away from the junction. Okay, so this is called the current rule or the first law. Second law is called as loop law or the voltage rule. You see, suppose there is a circuit. In that circuit we have multiple resistors and these resistors are driven by one voltage, that is called a driving voltage. So this resistance can be run properly only when their voltage is being balanced with the driving voltage. If the driving voltage is less and the resistors are more, therefore the resistors will act as passive. That means they will be inactive, right? So in order to run that resistor, the total potential drop across the resistors must be equals to the total EMF of the battery, right? So that is the total EMF must be equals to total voltage. So what does the second law says? In any closed mesh of an electrical circuit, the algebraic sum of the product of current and resistances of various branches of the mesh is equal to the algebraic sum of the EMF of the mesh. So this law can be more clear by solving the numericals, and this numericals also based upon some rule, that is the second law has few rules, that is the direction of loop current or direction of EMF current. So that one we will see now. In the screen you can see I have noted down one question. Two cells of EMF 1.5 and 2 volt and internal resistance 2 ohm and 1 ohm respectively are connected by the resistors given below. That means the question was in a statement and we need to read the statement and we have to draw the circuit, or in some cases the circuit is already given, right? But in the question we have to read whether there is any internal resistances or not. If there are any internal resistances, then we have to include in the diagram. But in the general cases they are mentioned, mention the word internal resistance, but that internal resistance is not shown in the diagram. So in those cases we have to place the internal resistances, right? So this is the diagram. So before going through the diagram, first let's see the rules of this Kirchhoff's law. So You see, this is a driving circuit. So we know the current moves from positive terminal of the battery, and this arrow direction, this is called loop current, right? And this loop current depends upon the voltage of your battery. Now if the voltage, if there are in a circuit there are two batteries and one battery is more stronger than the other, that we say that one is 2 volt and one is 1.5 volt, that means the loop current will be drawn according to 2 volt, not 1.5 volt, right? That time this 2 volt is considered to be as driving circuit and this 1.5 volt is considered to be as auxiliary circuit. That means this resistors which is connected to this voltage, that is called auxiliary circuit, and this battery which is connected to this resistors, they are called as driving circuit, right? So that means the loop current is depends upon this voltage of a battery. Now next we'll move. You see, if the current in any branch, that let us consider that is I, is passing through any resistor R, and the loop current is opposite to the direction of current through that branch, then we have to take plus IR. That means I is the current flowing through that branch and R is the resistor. Similarly, if the loop current is moving from smaller terminal to bigger terminal, then we consider it to be as plus E. Okay, so remember, when loop current is moving from smaller terminal to bigger terminal, then we take positive. When the loop current is opposite to the direction of current through any branch, that time also we will take plus IR. Similarly, if the loop current is moving from positive to negative, right, that time we have to consider minus E. And if the loop current is in the same direction of the current in the branch, then we have to take minus IR. So let's see how this to be applied in this question. Okay, so the question is mentioned like this. The question will be given to you like this. First you have to read the question and see whether any internal resistance is mentioned or not. If it is mentioned, then you have to draw this resistance across the negative terminal. Okay, generally it is drawn across the negative, that is smaller terminal of a battery only. So you see 1.5 volt and 2 volt, and internal resistances 2 ohm and 1 ohm. That means this 1.5 volt has internal resistance 2 ohm and 2 volt they have internal resistance 1 ohm, right? So after drawing the circuit, and we will name the terminals. Let us consider this is terminals A, B, C, D, E, F, right? According to your convenience, you can write any variable here, right? So you see, out of this 1.5 volt and 2 volt, this is having higher, that because 2 is greater than 1.5. So therefore, the loop current direction will be according to this 2 volt. So it will be positive when we will move from small to big, right? So when we will move to small to big, that means we have to make this one as positive. So moving this one small to big, just we have to draw a loop showing that arrow direction is from negative to positive, or you can draw like this also. Okay, and you will just rotate here. This will be the loop direction. So in a simplified way, just you will say the loop direction is this one. Okay, so how this current loop came? So it is according to this rule. That means the loop current, if the terminal is like this, if this you want to make it positive, that means you have to draw like this. Drawing like this means that is clockwise direction. So the loop direction is here clockwise, right? So if the direction of loop is here clockwise, then same direction will be followed here, because this is the driving circuit. Okay, so this is how we draw the loop current. Now we will see that there are two currents moving through 8 ohm. So let us consider this has to be I1 current and this has to be I2 current. Now I1 current and I2 current, we know that this is a junction now. Two current is coming and meeting at this point. Now at this point, both the currents will get added up, because we know the total current coming towards the junction must be equal to total current moving away from the junction. That means at this junction the total current should be 0. That means here the total current is I1 plus I2, that will move through this branch, that is I1 plus I2, right? So that means this is based upon first rule of Kirchhoff's law, that was the current rule or the junction rule, right? Now from here I2 current is coming here, from here I1 current, that is total current passing through 8 ohm is I1 plus I2. Okay, now we have to consider one mesh, that is one loop. In the loop A, B, C, D, A, that means in the loop A, B, C, D, A, that means this loop I am talking about. Okay, so let's start with this voltage. You see this current direction, now it is like this, right? So this current direction is moving from bigger to smaller. So when a current direction is moving from bigger to smaller, we have to take minus E. So here our E is 1.5, so we need to take here minus 1.5, right? Now this loop current has passed through this voltage, now it comes to this resistor. Now this current direction and the direction of current in the branch, so current is moving like this. Now our loop direction and current direction in the branch is opposite. You see, as it is opposite, so we need to take plus I here. So we have to write here plus, what is our I here? I is I1 and R is our 2, that means this can be written as 2I1. Now again we will move to this resistor. You see current direction was going up, because when current comes here it will go up. Now current direction and again loop direction is opposite. If both are opposite, again we have to take plus, that is 3, and what is the current passing through this branch? That is I1, that is 3I1. So voltage is also got over, this resistor is also over, this resistor is also over. Now this one, you see this arrow direction and the current direction, again it is opposite, both are in opposite, so again we will consider as plus 8 I1 plus I2, right? Now last resistor is this one, that is 2 ohm. Now again you see this current direction and this current which is coming down, again they are in opposite direction, that is plus 2 I1 must be equals to 0. As already I have told that total EMF plus total potential drop must be equals to 0, right? So you see this concept, we will see that now total voltage must be equals to here 0 or 1.5. if I take to that side, then we will be getting 1.5 in the that side, that minus will change to positive. Now 2I1 plus 3I1, that is 5I1, 5 plus 2, 7I1. So 7I1 plus 8I1 plus 8I2, or 7 plus 8, that is 15I1 plus 8I2 equals to 1.5. Okay, this is equation number 1. Now let's check. You see this is the total I, that means summation of I here, and this is the total voltage EMF, right? So this is the second law. Okay, so likewise we have to make the second loop also. Now from this loop we will be getting one more equation like this, then both the equation we have to solve simultaneously, and we have to get the value of I1 and I2. Okay, so second loop, so what is our loop here? D, or you can say C, D, E, F, C. So we need to write here in the loop C, D, E, F, C, that means C, D, E, F, C, right? In this loop. Now we have to make one more equation from this loop. So first we will start from the voltage. You see what is the voltage here? 2 volt. Now you see this current direction, if you rotate this one clockwise, this is positive, that is 2, that is plus 2. Now you see when this loop direction is passing through this resistor, now loop direction and current direction both are same, so we need to take here minus 2 I2. Now again this loop direction and current direction in the branch of 8 ohm is same direction, because it is clockwise. Clockwise means both the directions are same. As it is same, so we need to take here minus 8 I1 plus I2. Now again we need to make a turn, it will pass through this 3 ohm, so current passing through this 3 ohm and this loop direction both are same. As they are same, again we need to take 3 I2. So last, when it passes through 1 ohm, again the direction of current through this branch and the arrow direction both are same, so again we need to take minus, that means 1 into I2, so minus I2. minus I2 must be equals to 0. That means total voltage, that is by the EMF and the loop voltage, must be equals to 0, right? So you see 2 minus 2I2 minus 8I1 minus 8I2, so just I am solving this one, minus 3I2 minus I2 equals to 0. Now we need to add it up. So 2 plus 8, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 1, 14, that is 14 I2 minus 8 I1 plus 2 equals to 0, or what we will do, these two terms both are negative, we will take to other side, that is we will get 14 I2 plus 8 I1 equals to 2. We can take 2 out common from this equation, so we will be getting here 7 I2 plus 4 I1 equals to 1. So this is equation number 2. Now we need to solve this equation number 1 and 2. After solving this equation 1 and 2, we will be getting the values of I1 and I2. So you see, I have solved here. I have taken these two equations, that is equation number 1 and equation number 2. So first equation I have written here, second equation here. Now you see, we need to solve simultaneously. So I have taken for I2. So 8 and 7, what is the LCM here? That is 56. So we need to multiply the first equation with 7, second equation by 8. So after multiplication, 7 8 is 56, 8 7 is 56. So both will get cancelled. That is 56 I2 gets cancelled. Now 7 15 is 105 and 7 1.5 is 10.5. 8 4 is 32 I1 and 8 1 is 8. Now you see, after solving this one, we get here 73 I1 because I2 terms gets cancelled, and here 10.5 minus 8 will get 2.5. Therefore I1 equals to 2.5 by 73. If you remove the point, then you will get 730, right? Now when you cancel, you will get 5 by 146 ampere. So we got the value of I1. So this I1 value we need to place in any of the equation. So when you place in any of the equation, you will be getting the value of I2, that is I2 equals to 9 by 73 ampere. So now you see, we got the answer I1 and I2. But if in the same question, if it is mentioned, what is the potential drop across 8 ohm? So potential drop across 8 ohm means I into R. Our R is 8, and what is our I? I1 plus I2. So the potential drop across CD, you can say, that is VCD, that is I1 plus I2 into R. So I1 is 5 by 146 plus I2 is 9 by 73 into 8. So when you will solve this one, so we will get the potential across 8 ohm. Okay. So this type of complex questions can be solved by using the Kirchhoff's rule. Okay. So you see, this is very important. This term you see very important here. So it will be used in each and every numerical, right? Let's explain once more. You see, if the loop current and if it is moving from small terminal to bigger terminal, that is negative terminal to positive terminal, we need to take it positive. Similarly, if the loop current and the current in the branch, if it is in opposite direction, then we will be taking plus IR. But if the loop current is moving from bigger terminal to smaller terminal, then we have to take minus E. And if it is in same direction, that means loop current, and the current in that branch is if it is in same, then we will be considering as minus IR. Okay. So by using these two rule in two loops, so we will be getting two equation. So once you get the two equation, you have to solve simultaneously, and you will be getting the value of I1 and I2. Okay. So write these rules in your exercise book. So I will be giving few questions in your WhatsApp group. So based upon this KCL and KVL, that the first law is also called the KCL law, that is Kirchhoff's current law, and that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So questions you need to solve by looking this example. For this class only this much.